Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to part 2. If you saw part 1, we are testing and showing you the brand new products at Unearthed UK for cleaning your coins and artifacts. So we've got the tools, we've got the cleaning solutions, and we've got the preservers. So what I've done is I've took a selection of coins and artifacts to clean. So we've got a heavily crustated dried mud full crotal bell. We've got a delicate little 1st century Roman brooch, a heavily crustated silver sixpence, a silver sixpence that's tarnished, so that one's covered in mud residue, that one's tarnished, so 2 different types of cleaning required. And this is a little pipe tamper. We're just going to do some intricate detail on the pipe tamper and then preserve it with the preserver. We've got a cap badge, military cap badge. We've got a button, military button, and we've got a George II, I believe, halfpenny. And in there, we've got a heavily crustated threepence, early 1900s. And I've got the solutions ready. So what we're going to do, we're going to decide, first of all, what to soak and what not to soak. So, to cut a long story short, I'm only going to soak this coin, and this coin. Everything else I'm going to work on without soaking. So let's just pick the George II halfpenny up, and we'll pop that into the solution for coin cleaning. So that's this one here. Just get it a bit soaked in there. Okay, so as per first video, that's the Monitor solution. And then the silver, we're going to pop into this clear solution here, both coins, and we're going to come back another day once they've been soaked. And that clear one is called Clean Bill. Okay, so let's leave them in there and get to work on the other coins and artifacts. Right, firstly, ladies and gents, I'm going to work on this threepence. It's heavily concreted, if you like, crustated, whatever you want to call it, with mud and grass, I think, is mixed in there. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to speed up the process. But the tool I'm going to be using to start with is I'm just going to get what I would call a sort of scraping utensil. So let's make a start on this one. No solution, I'm just going to use this to scrape away the mud. So I've just removed the harsh stuff off that coin. As you can see, I can just get the light right. You can already see a lot more detail on that coin already. So what I'm going to do now is get the wire brush. I'm just going to give it a little going over with the wire brush. So already there is a lot more detail coming through that coin. Now all I need to do now is take the slightly less harsh cleaning pencil, which is going to be this one. All right, I'm just going to gently bring out the detail in and around the writing and the flowers or whatever is on here. So just going to get the lighter mud off between the detail, basically. So as you can see, it could do with some more work, but using this lightly brings out all the detail, and you can get in between the detail and just get the mud off, or whatever residue is just cemented to the coin. All right, so I'm just going to spend a few more minutes. There you go, you can quite clearly see that says 1940 on there. All right. Now what I'm going to do, once you're confident that you've got as much as you can get off without damaging the surface of the coin, then that's when I'd stop. You can do two things now. You can either get some of the solution and just put it on your thumb, and just rub it over and give it a damp cloth, a cloth rub. Just get it off. That'll clean it up a little bit more. Or you can go straight in with a preserver. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight in with a preserver. Obviously there's two sides to the coin. I've only done one side. So just a little tiny bit on your finger. And just rub it onto the coin. That will also help to clean it up a bit. If we can get the spotlight on this coin now. If you can see that okay. That is looking 300% better than what it did when I first started. So that is a heavily crustated threepence. Just going to take out the clamp. Look at that. And the other side, that's what it looked like before. So look how much better that looks. You're not going to get everything pristine, obviously. So don't try to get everything pristine, but you've got to just make it good as best you can. Right, next up, we are going to go for the heaviest clean of all. It's got a little tub here because I'm going to be cleaning this crotal bell up with, to start with, the most harshest tool here, which is, it's like a brass point. But why you need a brass point like this is for this kind of job. So this has been left, the mud has dried inside this bell, and crotal bells have two holes, one there and one on the other side. But what tends to happen is, the P inside rusts, and then rusts against one side, so it's really hard when you've got a toothpick to try and pick the bell free, the pip free, or the P free. So you need to get this tool and get inside these two holes either side, and at the bottom where the opener mouthpiece is of the bell. So we're going to do that now. And then obviously you got the loop here. So if I start with the loop, you'll see, just punch it through. Really easy with this. Now I'm not looking to work on the surface of the coin. This is just purely to work on the inside of the coin, the bell. Just purely to work on the inside of the bell, getting all this dry mud out to start with. And then we're going to use other tools on the outside. This is making light work of it as well. So I'm going to carry on and do this. Back to you in a sec. Right, ladies and gents, that tool made light work of that. That is now rattling. The pea was not too bad. The pea was not rusted too bad, but this tool might just be my favourite tool so far for these tricky jobs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the tool and work on the outside. Now because this is quite a delicate sort of item, I'm going to go and start with probably the lightest tool. So this one will lightly clean. There is some heavy mud on it, but I'm just going to start with this to see if this will work and then go from there. So I work in a circular motion, and I'm going to carry on getting all this mud off the outside, so you can see it's heavily covered. So let's see what it looks like at the end. Right, so I've got most of the heavy mud off that now. I'm just going to use the wire brush now to buff it up. See how I get on with the buffing up. There's still residue all over the bell, so let's see how this gets on with the buff up. So this is how it looks at the moment. Right, ladies and gents, so I've buffed it up a little bit with the wire brush, and we're starting to get to the metal now. So I'm not sure how much more I want to do on this. I'm just going to give it a rub, just see sort of how much more there is to do on it, but I think we're almost there. I mean, the coins and artifacts are only going to be as good as what they are, to be honest with you. You know, like I said, they're not going to be pristine, but that's looking a lot better. Now, what I am going to do with this one is I am going to give it a rub with the solution. So I'm just dipping my finger in the solution for cleaning coins. And I'm just going to give it a rub down with that solution. I think it will actually clean it up quite well before you put the preserver on. Just give it a nice coating of the solution for coins. And then what I need is a rag, really. So yeah, I've got one down there, so get a rag like this and just give it a good old buff up. Get all the excess solution off. Ready for the preserver. So there we have a bell ready to preserve. So you get the preserver, a little bit of on your finger, and then just gently rub it in. Coat the coin, coat the bell. You know, a little bit on the finger like that should do the whole bell. It's oil based, that solution as well, so that preserves as well, if I'm honest with you. But the preserver's on, and then we have a fully functional crotal bell. Okie dokie. Next up, we're just going to take this pipe tamper. This is a Georgian pipe tamper, but the end has all got crud in it. So what I'm going to do, doesn't need much work, but I'm going to get the next one up from the lightest cleaning tool, which is that white one, is this type of sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, sort of a, it's not lead, but it looks like lead. It's quite a hard point. So I'm going to use this to get the detail out on the bottom of the pipe tamper. Right, that has worked a treat. Look at that. There's a tool for every job in this this little selection of products, new products from Artefacts UK, and that has absolutely cleaned it up a treat. So what we'll do now is we'll just, I think we'll just perhaps get the light tool on parts of the base. I don't want to do too much of this because it's fairly clean as it is. It's more to do with the bottom of the pipe tamper. It's more to do with the bottom of the pipe tamper really. But yeah, I don't want to do no more than that. So we'll just get the preserver again. Nice and easy job. Treat the bottom, which I've just cleaned up, and then work my way around and just seal the whole thing just so it's protected for years to come. Like I say, this is about 1700s, this pipe tamper, maybe 1800s. But with the preserver on, it's looking good. Okay, so that's the third item that we've cleaned up without really using solutions. Obviously we've got the solutions there, we've got silver coins and copper coins in the solutions, but we don't actually need to use them at the moment for anything else, just the tools. Right, next up we've got a cap badge. This one, again, delicately, I'm going to clean with the delicate tool. Just getting the mud out of the grooves. I mean, this would obviously, if you wanted to get some brass polish on it, this would polish up quite nicely. But we're just going to get a bit of the detail out and then preserve it with this tool. That's what it looks like to start with. Right, so what I'm going to do is I've got some deep crevices in there, so I'm just going to get the harsh tool, or the next one up from the light one, and I'm just going to get some intricate detail between the lettering and also the deep crevices in the folds there. So really gently with this. I'm not looking to scratch it, I'm just looking for the tool to do the work. Like with all the tools, let the tools do the work. And you can see the mud just comes off in a finer powder with this one. Right, so I've just gone round it with this one. you can really get into some tight spaces. It's really a sharp point on this, so it's pretty good for getting some good detail out. So what I'm going to do with that one is just leave it like that and just preserve it from there. Like I say, you could get some brass polish on that, but I never do. So I'm just going to get it on my thumb again, give it a good coating. It's hard to get all the preserver in the cracks and crevices on the artifact, but you can always use a toothbrush to apply some of this. I don't think I've got one here, to be honest with you, but yeah, a toothbrush would work a treat. But there you go. One cat badge preserved. Right, next up is this military button. So all I'm going to do with this one is going to take the wire brush. I'm just going to give it a light buffing up. See all that dust coming off if you can on camera. The wire brush just gives it a light buffing up, gets all the surface residue off. Ready for a gentle clean with this pencil here. So I'll just give it a light buff. And now I'm just going to use this just to get in between the details of the button. All the mud comes off, as we have seen already on the other bits and pieces I've been cleaning up. I mean, I've given that a good going over, and even with this tool, which is the light duty one, it is actually taking it down to bare metal. I don't know if you can see that shining there, but it's actually taking it down to bare metal. So it depends how far you want to go. I'm quite happy to leave it there. I'm just going to get a bit of the coin cleaning solution just to rub it over like I did with the crotal bell that I done. That'll just give it a nice little bit of clean of any mud residue still on there. You can see it coming off of my hands, look. So we'll get the rag again. We'll just give it a buff up with the rag. I mean, that's coming up really nicely now. And then a little bit of the preserver to finish off. Again, a bit of brasso on here would get this polished up proper nice into brass, but I never like my artifacts looking new like that. I'm just going to dab that a little bit. I never like my artifacts looking brand new because they're not. But that it's come up quite nicely. It's a general service button, 1914 to 1945, World War I, World War II. Lastly, we have this Roman brooch. This is 1st century Roman brooch, so I'm going to be extra careful with this. We've seen every tool used so far, and this one is going to get the gentle treatment. As if by magic, ladies and gents, we're now 2 days later and I can complete the video, but we ended up with the brooch, the Roman brooch. So like I say, I'm going to be very gentle with this. I'm going to use the lighter sort of tool with the white, I don't know if it's a graphite end. I mean, that would be a graphite end, wouldn't it? That's your sort of heavy duty. But I'm going to be using this on a very delicate 1st century Roman brooch. So you can see there, if I can just get that to focus. Let's bring the light down. There's grooves with mud in there. Just trying to bring the light in. There's grooves with mud in. So I'm going to work my way in between all of this. And then I'm going to give it a wipe with the solution for cleaning coins. And then we're going to see what it looks like. So let's make a start on this one. Here we go. You've got to be careful that there's no white paste on Roman brooches in the grooves. So something like this tool is going to help you just ease that mud out without damaging any detail underneath. Just let the tool do the work. Like with all these tools, let the tool do the work, let the solution do the work. And you just apply a little bit of labour and you should get a good result. Right, so I think I've done as much as I can so far on that. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of solution. And just give it a bit of a surface clean up with my finger. Like I say, you can use a brush to get in all the grooves if you want. The grooves aren't too deep on this, so I can pretty easily get my finger to cover. So I'm just giving it a light wash. I'm going to do both sides. This is just getting any surface mud off and softening anything that I haven't been able to remove with the tool. And I'm going to get my rag, a trusty rag, and give it a little bit of a gentle spruce up. And it really does make a world of difference once you clean your coins and artifacts up, as you will see. But I've just about got the excess residue off there. As you can see, lovely bit of detail coming through on that now. So all that leaves is to get the preserver. A little bit of preserver. Bronze, like I said earlier in the video, bronze does tend to rot. It's bronze rot disease, or whatever it's called. So this, like I said earlier in the video, will just seal the bronze. So further damage cannot be done naturally. And it also gives it a nice finish as well. Once this dries, as you will see, it actually gives a nice matte effect, nice tone. Right, so that is the Roman brooch done. That's all that leaves. See that? All that leaves now is for the coins that I soaked at the start of the video. So we've got, as it's in front of me, I'll leave that preserver open. We've got a George II, I believe, coin, which I put in here at the start of the show. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to keep it over the solution and just use my thumb to gently give it a nice rub. Because I want to leave a bit of the solution still on there. And then I'm going to get a tool just to see if there's anything else I can ease off there, or whether I'm down to the patina already. So let's just get the light pencil again. You can hear that gravelly noise, so that means there is residue coming off that coin still. So I'm just letting the pencil do the work. Although it sounds harsh, I'm not putting any pressure on. I'm just literally letting the nib do the work in amongst the solution, because it's still wet. I'm just using the solution as a lubricant just to get as much detail out of this coin as I can. And this isn't going to be a perfect coin, by the way, ladies and gents. Not many copper coins do come out perfect, and neither do the Roman bronzes. So we're just effectively taking another thin layer of mud off the top of the coin. And then I'm going to get a bit more solution on the finger and just give it a nice rub. I can feel it, look, you can see it's coming off on my finger. Like I say, you can go to whatever extreme you want, but try not to go below the patina on the coin. Sometimes it's a bit hard to tell what's patina and what's actually mud. This one's nearly there. The solution is good. Gently, gently taking what we don't want there off the coin, which is what you want, without damaging the coin. I think I'm nearly there. I think that's all I'm going to do. A bit more solution, give it a rub, and get the rag and rub the excess mud and solution off the coin. I mean, that's splendid, that is. I'll show you in a sec. That is absolutely splendid. It's just been soaking for a couple of days, but got fluff all over me, but that is the result. Wonderful. Right, that leaves you two silvers left in the solution. In the silver solution. Oh, I almost forgot. preserver on that one, just to finish the job. It's probably the best I've ever cleaned a coin. Up, to be honest with you, of Georgian standard, Georgian age. I'm very impressed with the result. Anyway, preservers on that one. So we're going to go to the silver one. So what I can see in here is actual residue in the liquid. Don't know if I can show you. It's a bit hard to show you, but there's residue in the liquid. It's a clear liquid, this one. So the coin that had the mud residue on it has already softened that up and it's coming off. So I'm just going to get my finger, and I can tell you now, it's a bit like a magical liquid, to be honest with you, because that has come up pucker. Look at that coin. That is almost brand new. The other side. Wonderful. So I would suggest on silver you don't really have to put the preserver on, if I'm honest with you. Silver will tarnish, so you can clean it up, but it will tarnish. But I quite like the tarnish. If you don't like the tarnish, put the preserver on and that'll stop it tarnishing. But I don't like my silver coins looking brand new, so I'm going to let that tarnish over a number of months, years, whatever. The other coin was already tarnished, if you remember. So we're going to just take a look. There's still a lot of tarnish on there. So let's give it a rub. Yeah, so that's left the tarnish on to a certain extent, which is what I would say you'd want. Let's give it a bit more solution. But it has tidied up the coin quite a bit. Like I say, it's only been in there 2 days with tarnish. I mean, you can see the tarnish coming off my fingers. You might want to leave it a week in that solution to get an even more silver finish. But what I'm going to do with this one, you might not be able to see, but it's got a little bit of damage on the coin. It might even have been a counter stamp. Looks like a counter stamp, but because I don't want that to damage any further, I'm just going to put some solution on. Not solution, preserver. And just give it a little rub with the preserver. That'll stop it tarnishing any further. I'm quite happy with the tarnish on that coin as it is, sort of a medium dark tone. Medium dark tone, see? So there you go. The solutions can be used as a soak or a gentle cleaning solution as you're cleaning the coins. So all that leaves me to do is to show you the end results, which I will turn the camera around and I'll do now. Right, ladies and gents, here we go. These are the finished results. As you can see, zoom in on that coin there. Absolute fantastic finishes. Bringing out the detail on these coins. I mean, look at that George II, and that threepence. You can clearly see the detail on that. The cap badge. Everything really has turned out rather nicely. Unearthed UK, get over there, use the discount code, get yourself some cleaning pencils and solutions and preservers, because they make a hell of a difference. Till the next video, catch you next time.